Welcome to the Women Inspired podcast, brought to you by Modern Well, a beautiful woman-centered collaborative workspace in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm your host, April Seifert, psychologist, entrepreneur, and self-proclaimed life experience junkie. Each week, I will introduce you to a different woman who is succeeding and inspiring others in one way or another. We'll dive into her story, her successes, failures, and the lessons she has learned along the way, all with the goal of inspiring you to listen to that inner voice who keeps reminding you that there is something you want to take action on. You are so much more capable and powerful than you give yourself credit for. Inside of you is a woman on fire. Let's let her out and see what happens. Here we go. Welcome back to a very special bonus episode of the Women Inspired podcast. My name is April Seifert, and I am your host. Now, for quite a few weeks now, I have been hinting that something big and fun is coming, and today is the day that I officially let the cat out of the bag, and I am so excited. All right, you guys, let's take a step back. When I began the podcast 2 years ago, I didn't even really know what I wanted it to be. I just knew that at the time, I wanted to inspire women to be their best selves and live their best lives. The thing is, after losing my dad to cancer and battling my own challenges with multiple sclerosis, I knew firsthand how critically important it is for us to live life to the fullest. And I also knew firsthand how possible it is to intentionally create the life you want to live. The thing is, with a little bit of honesty, a little bit of intention, and the right framework, you seriously can design your days to be more fulfilling, intentional, and joyful. And I am living, breathing proof of that. And the thing is, throughout the last 2 years, the podcast has grown up. It's grown up with all of you. And I've started to hear from so many of you, and you have shared with me your challenges and your hopes and your goals. And more importantly, so many of you have written to me and asked me for help. As I've connected with so many of you, I started drawing from my background in psychology and in design thinking. And my goal was to just help you gain clarity and help you chart a new path toward intentionally designing the life that you wanted to be living. I basically took the best of what I was experimenting with in my own life and used all of this background that I've gathered throughout my career and throughout my training, and I started giving it away to whoever was contacting me. And the craziest thing is that the results have been incredible. So many of you have experienced meaningful shifts in the direction that you're pushing your life to go. And I can't tell you how profoundly powerful that is. My heart just explodes when I think about the folks that I've heard from. And I just can't keep this bottled up any longer. I can't do it. So my big announcement is that I'm going to start offering these techniques and tools to you guys on a larger scale. And this is going to take a bunch of forms. And I've got a number of things planned out for 2019. But to start with, let's start with the very first thing that I'm offering. I'm holding my very first set of live webinars during the first 2 weeks of January. This is just in time for the new year, and during this webinar, I'm going to guide you through a life design exercise that I've personally used. This exercise combines the powerful fields of psychology and human-centered design thinking. And when you apply that to your own life, the techniques that I've been developing can help you gain clarity on the areas of your life that you want to change, and you can start to steer your life into alignment with who you truly are, your strengths, your goals, your values, the way you want your day to feel. This is totally possible. I've kept this information and these techniques bottled up for way too long. I've shared them with a few of you, but it's time to share them more widely, and I am so stinking excited. If you want more information and you want to sign up for this first set of webinars, you can stop over to aprilseifert.com/webinar, and you can register there. Or to make it even more simple, you can just click the link in this episode description on whatever platform you're listening to me on right now. Now, the hard truth, and I want to get a little honest with you right now, is that you don't have the luxury of time to waste. I've told my personal story before, and if you haven't listened to that, episodes 39 and 40 of the podcast, I got super vulnerable and very honest about my personal backstory and what has led to the passion that I'm putting into all of this work. When I was in graduate school, I was wasting time, not by going to graduate school, but I was not going after the things that I truly wanted to do. I was just going through the motions. And all of that changed one day, and I don't know why, but that day I sat at my desk after having lost my dad to cancer and after battling blindness and paralysis and all of the crazy stuff that came with multiple sclerosis. I asked myself an important set of questions. I said, what would my dad give for the day that I just wasted today? And what would I have given when I was blind and paralyzed? What would I have given for the day that I just wasted today? Yes, there are things that we need to do. At the time, I needed to go to school. I needed to go through some of those motions, but there was a list of activities and a list of things that I wanted to try and ways that I wanted my day to feel, and I was not going after them because I was afraid and because I didn't have a framework to help me figure it all out. It all felt too difficult. But at that point, I knew that I had to figure it out. I knew that I needed to start living with intention and with urgency and with passion and with joy. And I started living by design, not by default. And you guys, I want the same for you. So I want you to ask yourself, how joyful and aligned does your day-to-day life feel right now? As you're closing out on 2018, do you feel driven and passionate? Do you feel like you're truly alive, like you are actively and intentionally participating in your own life? Or are you sort of just going through the motions like I was? Are you working for the weekend and going to work and coming home and passively letting life happen to you? You are either living by design or you're living by default, and you get to choose that. I want you to make a better choice. I want you to choose to start living by design. I want you to believe me when I tell you it is possible to create a better experience in your life, and I want to show you the framework to do that. Like I said, I've kept this stuff bottled up for way too long. It has helped the folks that have reached out to me, and I want to offer it on a larger scale, and I absolutely cannot wait to do that in 2019. So, if you will come along on this ride with me, I'm going to teach you the techniques that you can use to live like your life depends on it. I'm going to teach you the best of the techniques that I've been applying in my own life and that I have given out to so many of you who have contacted me, but I'm going to do it on a more formal scale now. I absolutely cannot wait for this first set of live webinars. I so hope you'll join me for them. This is sort of the maiden voyage of me moving into this training, and I feel like those of you who have been following me from the beginning with the podcast, like you've been along this journey with me, so keep coming because I feel like I owe this value to you for following me along this far. So if you stop over to aprilseifert.com/webinar, you can register, or like I said, just click the link in this episode description. It'll take you right there and you can sign up. I can't wait to connect with you guys more in 2019, to offer more trainings, more value, more tangible, hands-on life design and psychology techniques that can literally make meaningful improvements in your lives. And I wanted to stop on today and just release this really quick bonus episode to officially let the cat out of the bag. I'm freaking out as I say this, but like I say all the time, you got to start before you're ready and just put it out there. So here we go. I can't wait. I hope to see you guys there at the beginning of January. First 2 weeks, we'll be doing multiple sessions, so hopefully one of them can work for you. Can't wait to start teaching you guys the things that I've been doing. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. There's an amazing interview coming out as well. Amazing interviews coming out in weeks to come. And I'll see you on the webinars in the beginning of January. Bye, guys.
Before we close out today, I want to say thank you to my producer, Cameron Hill, and to my incredible sponsor, Modern Well. If you want to learn more about how you can reach your goals in a one-of-a-kind work-life community, visit www.modernwell.co. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with someone else who might benefit from this inspiring message. And if you have a moment, click the link in the episode description to leave me a rating and a review on iTunes. It would mean so much to me. Finally, I want to remind you that it is absolutely possible to live a happy, fulfilling life, even in spite of all of the chaos and demands we all experience. Sign up at aprilseifert.com to gain access to tools that will help you do just that. I have carefully created and curated a set of tools that combine the powerful fields of psychology and design thinking to help you intentionally create a fulfilling, happy life you love. Thank you so much for joining me this week, and until next week, stay inspired.